What am I doing? My ankle gave way. That's not good. Welcome everybody back to the Apprentice Adventurer channel. Today a 400+ kilometer loop incorporating the famous Bridal Track and the Turon Gates area. This is, to me, my second but first real ride in 3 months since my ankle operation, so I'm very rusty, and this is my second but first real ride on my new DRZ400E, because I've only done a 2 kilometer test ride on it so far. So pretty keen to get amongst it, but more importantly, how is the Bridal Track going? Is it worthwhile? Is it good? Is it bad? One way to find out, and that's to not overshoot any corners and to get amongst it. So I've done this Bridal Track twice in the past. Once many years ago when it was closed due to a big rock slide, but motorbikes could still get through. That was my first time. And then I did it when they did the bypass a few years later. But regardless, it's a pretty fun, awesome track. Plenty of campsites to be had. And you pretty much just follow this river the whole way. And then you have one main crossing at the end, which can be a bit high at times, but it does have a concrete bottom. Not a bad view from up here. Have a look down there, straight down. Fantastic. Look how beautiful this is. An awesome, awesome location for a little day ride if you're happy to do some bigger kilometers. One thing concerning about this track is if you're trying to fill up with water, the water looks very appetizing, but plenty of cattle would be pooing and weeing in it, that's for sure. You definitely want to be filtering the water. How cool is this? It's amazing what you forget about certain tracks as the years go on. I've forgotten about the steepness of the cliff faces. There's such an awesome feeling riding on these tracks when you've got the cliffside on one side and then you've got the sheer drop off on the other with the river. It makes for a really cool contrast whilst you're riding. Sometimes plays tricks on the eyes. Definitely got to pay attention to a track ahead of you. Well, the good news is the Bridal Track, in my opinion, isn't being as maintained as one would expect. Like, it's still pretty smooth, but you definitely got some potholes, some bog holes, some ruts here and there to contend with, which for a motorbike makes for a lot more fun than just going on a grated dirt track. It definitely makes you stay alert. Oh, water. Don't want to get the new bike too muddy yet. This front rotor that I've got, the oversized rotor compared to my Sally standard rotor, man, it pulls the front end up so quickly, just dives into the suspension. Got to be careful not to do a front wheel washout, but it certainly has a lot more braking power than stock, which is awesome. Just got to get used to it, that's all. Have a look at that. That's beautiful, guys. Tell you what, there's a couple of hills on the farmland that would be worth a bit of a shot for a hill climb. Pretty confident that'll be private property, but it's alright. Not for today though. Just look at the steepness there. That's so cool. Definitely probably the end of your life if you go off the end. Whew. Oh wow, am I already up to this section? I must be going way faster than I thought. There's no water to be had here, not today. I've been through here where I was axle deep in the past. Water's looking very stagnant. Tell you what, that's something you wouldn't want to hit. If you didn't see it and you're going through water, that could throw you off. If anyone's doing the Bridal Track and you're going, I'm going south to north, if you're going north to south and you're on the left there and there's water, pay attention to the close left. Could be an obstacle that could dislodge your bike. How's that for a bit of local knowledge? And just like that, the Bridal Track is done. I can tell you now that on a motorbike, if you're traveling at some decent speed, the dirt section, you can knock that over in probably, I don't know, 20 minutes. Not long at all, but super fun. Well, this is pretty much the town. I know you got a couple of coffee shops on the main drag. Make sure I'm going the right way. Heaps of cool old buildings. Probably could stop for a coffee, but hey guys. But early days still, early in the morning. I'm just traveling to a town called Safala, but I tell you what, even to be on the road, this hill end road section, with these views and the rocks on the right, able to, you know, go pretty fast if you want on the knobbies. It is just sensational. Or maybe it's just because I haven't ridden in so long, but everything is sensational at the moment, because nothing is bad today at all. And I've done a fair bit of time. I've just been enjoying every last second of it. And here is Safala. It's actually quite busy for a weekday. This is kind of like the gateway town to the Turon River. Beyond here is all fun to be had. Awesome little place. Look how old it looks. Beautiful. This guy's got a sensational beard and hair. Wish I had that. Looks like he's twice my age and he's got 10 times more hair. Go figure. I've got my first crossing of the Turon coming up. This will be an indication of what to expect. It looks like it is very, very low. Potentially slippery. So that's not going to prove to be difficult at all throughout the other crossings. Well, this is a bit miserable. Certainly not going to complain. I thought this crossing always had flowing water. Once again, last time I was axle deep here and there's next to nothing. Oh man. Just means this new bike doesn't get too much mud on it yet. It's not a bad thing. Oh yes, we've got a centimetre of water. Look at the cow over there trying to get a drink of water. It's hopping in. Go cow. Lucky it's not the top end, it'd be some food for a crocodile, I'd suggest. This Turon River section is so much different to the Bridal Track. It's not that far in terms of distance, but the track isn't on the edge of any cliffs or drop-offs. Still follows the river obviously, but I still think I prefer this sort of terrain than the Bridal Track. It's just a lot more flowy here, a lot more bush and trees. Really nice to be a part of. Where's this last bridge? I've never seen this bridge. I've done this track many times. I've never seen this one underwater. And I guess if this one was underwater, the rest would be impassable on a motorbike. See you later, Turon River. Have a listen to this new bike just pull. Holy moly. It gets up and going really quickly. Very noticeable with the exhaust and a tuned carby to match. It pulls very, very hard from low revs. Very impressed indeed with that. How good's that? I'm just heading towards Lithgow now, and we're looking at the Walgan Valley. Just sensational. I've used that word enough on this trip. Never gets old looking at those sort of sceneries. Alright, some harder terrain. Come on. What am I doing? My ankle gave way. That's not good. I just stuffed that up like an idiot. Poor ankle. I'm not ready for this sort of stuff. No idea where I'm going. Anything like that. That certainly wasn't meant to happen. That's what happens when you're rusty and injured. Let's see how this bike reacts after it's been dropped. Alright, let's start that again. Oh my goodness. It's a pretty tight track, this. Straight up there. Come on. I can now notice having the 22 psi in the tyres, but it's going to stay there for this trip now. This is terrain. You certainly want to lower the pressures, but it is what it is. Whew. Come on, ankle. So I've got these steg pegs installed on this bike, and a bit of advice if anyone knows. So far, I mean, they're great for standing, relaxing, and going up hills, and definitely balancing. But I find when hitting something like this and getting in the air, it keeps me too far forward in my shins, and it wants to lunge me forward. If anyone's got any information on that, if they're not that great for getting airtime, please let me know, because I don't know if maybe if I'm just, my legs are too long or something, and that's causing me dramas. But I don't feel that great launching the bike because I can't then get backwards movement on my calves, and I can't go around them either. So let me know in the comments please if anyone's experienced that. We're just exiting Ben Bullen, man. I can't believe, oh, was that a snake? I can't believe I fell over there. It was so dumb, like should have smashed up that. Anyway, and now I'm heading to the formerly known as Blackfellows Hand Road. So I'm coming to the end of my dirt tracks now. I've got about a 60 kilometre tar stretch to get home, about 420 kilometres for the day, but I'm officially counting this as my first proper ride in 3 months after an operation and rehab, and I'm not quite there yet, but it is so freaking bloody good to be back on one's bike, to the ability to just go for a ride and enjoy some shit on your own. Man, it's been a pleasure today. I really can't fault it, and my riding ability hasn't diminished too bad. So ultimately I guess I'm back now on this new bike of mine. By the next video it'll have a name. I probably need to do a couple thousand kilometers on it before I'm going to fully trust it, just because it's second hand. It hasn't really skipped a beat, minus a bit of idling issues, but I'll get that rectified. Yeah, a couple thousand kilometers, and then this bike will be my new long distance bike and big day trip bike. And Sally will be getting converted into enduro mode, and she'll become trailer job and skills improvement days and single trail. So pretty keen to get that going as well. But anyway, I'll catch you all on the next ride. Thanks for watching. If you want the route, you know where to go. It's in the description below this video. And until next time, I'll catch us all later, and safe travels on your own adventures.